Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today I want to share with you how I bring a vision of a painting to life. If you're curious how I painted this and what exactly it means to me, then keep on watching. For the first layer, I'm taking yellow ochre and I thin this with turpentine, but personally I prefer linseed oil instead. I'm still experimenting myself, but so far I've had good experiences with linseed oil. And apart from that, turpentine has an extremely strong smell to it. Now I have an even background, and with the same color I am painting the horizon, the vanishing point, which helps to bring in more depth, and then I'm starting with the outlines. My vision for this artwork is the image that arises to me when I reflect on isolation, which is a man sitting alone in his room watching TV or being absorbed by the TV, and all around him lies this beautiful nature, and he's somehow trapped in front of the TV. And if you look close, that's because the devil is hiding behind it and the TV is a trap. So I started with Prussian blue, which I'm using for all the shadows in my painting. And I started with the room, which walls have been folded outward, just like an open box. And then I continued with the forest. Because I'm painting the shadow first, I have to know where the sun is coming from the whole time. In my case, the sun falls from the upper left, which is why the forest on the left side lies in shadow, while the right side is brightened by the sun. I believe that by showing these contrasts, the image becomes more atmospheric. And then I'm going in with olive green to paint parts of the trees. And for the trunks and branches, I'm then using raw umber. So far, I am painting in broad strokes, or at least I'm reminding myself to do so, because details will come later on. And for now, I just want to establish where everything needs to be. With Naples yellow, I'm painting the foundation for the ground and parts of the highlight, but I am not adding any white at this point. White comes at the very end. For the tree crowns, I am using sap green, and I like this color for the trees since it's not too bright and therefore not too artificial looking. And because trees rarely look as perfect as we picture them in our mind, I am adding some unevenness on purpose. I have added some bushes and grasses, and now I'm going in with raw ochre, blending this color into the ground. With burnt sienna, I am now starting to add details to the trees. And then with this bluish green, which name I can't quite pronounce, I am adding some subtle shadows. Because I feel like I have added enough color at this point, I am now blending everything together just a little bit where I think it is needed. Now, to highlight these spots that are touched by sunlight, I'm using Naples Yellow. And this color also works really good for skin tones, but I like to use it in landscapes as well, just because it's more subtle than a bright yellow, for example, which I think can be a bit overpowering when painting nature. Nature to me is just full of love, and it teaches me forgiveness and balance in life. And it also represents the opposite of all evil to me. But of course, I could have contrasted isolation with being around many people, for example. But for me, being connected to nature is the true gift, and it feels so spiritual, and is how I am always returning to feel comfortable by myself. So to me, it's just the perfect contrast to the artificial world. But I would like to hear from you. Did you discover such a place yourself yet? Now I'm mixing Prussian blue with white and just a little bit of ochre for the sky. And afterwards, I'm blending the sky into the trees. I'm going back in with Naples Yellow and adding the highlights. And now at the end, I'm painting the man in front of his TV, which to me is not only distraction or comfort, but it's also kind of a trap, because it oftentimes feels like we're experiencing life through the lives of others, which I think is a big issue nowadays. So the trap is set up by the devil in my picture, and he stops us kind of from true connection and experiencing what's really around us. So that's why the man stays imprisoned, maybe you could say, in front of the TV and cut off by all the beauty around him. Even though many of us are probably aware of this pattern, it's hard to break free from it, right? Now I'm adding pure white straight off the tube, placing it onto the strongest highlights. So thank you very much for painting with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Feel free to share your thoughts on this in the comments, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Bye!